See a dragonfly there. Looks like he's hunting this whole block for insects to eat. And I know I've seen lots more of them in here, so it's really rewarding to know that we're helping support the ecosystem for even dragonflies. They're a pretty niche ecosystem component, and it's nice just to know that our farming practices aren't hurting them, and rather we are helping them. Oh, he's going after nectar and pollen or something. That is very interesting. Sorry for the unsteady camera work. I gotta also move toward him to get a better zoom. I'll scare him away. Yeah, he must be drinking nectar. He or she. Wow, that's so cool. Well, I just thought I'd get a clip of him in here. I thought he was insect hunting, but he might actually be drinking nectar from the buckwheat. So my guess is, looking at how open this is, and the fact that he's drinking nectar from it, I guess is the honeybees might be hitting this in the morning, or maybe there's another resource in our environment that they find much more beneficial or appetizing. Either way, we're going to go jump in those hives after we take a look at Mama Doe hiding out in the buckwheat over here. I just noticed her. We'll fix her. Wow, she's a big, healthy deer. I know why, too. Now I'm really hungry for venison. Well, anyway, today's job is to check on the honeybees and see where they're at, filling out those boxes. And if they need more space, we got more space for them. Realized I hadn't put these foundations into these yet, so I just did those up quick before I came up. So here we are at the hives. Mega traffic in and out. And looking good. Take a look over here at the buckwheat, see if anybody's in the buckwheat over there. And then I'll kill this electric fence charger and we'll get started. I'm also going to clean up the grass in front of these hives so we can see these entrances a little better. There we go. That's a little better. Now we can see the front of our colonies. They didn't even notice me. Alright, July 23rd, we're going to have to look-see here and see how they're doing on this next box up. If they need space, I brought a couple of boxes with me. So we can give them some space if we need to. Looking at how the traffic's been, I'm guessing they're doing okay in here. Oh yeah. Bees all over that cover. So that's nice. Oh, we got drawn out comb out to third in from the left and pretty well drawn out on the edge. So we'll pull this edge frame and we'll probably pull these two edge frames, maybe a middle, and have a look. They're basically ready for another box, but I just want to look at how things are and give you some cool content and me some cool stuff to go back and watch later, because I do love my honeybees. Let's have a look in this right hand frame first. I'm going to give them another hit of smoke quick. But yeah, this box is full of bees and working drawn comb, pretty much. I don't know, I hope you can see. It's so hard to get this on camera and do justice to it. But hopefully you can see all those bees. To the tops of the box here. Alright. Grab my grabber tool, because this really does make pulling frames out so much easier. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, they're about drawn out on that side. About drawn out on this side, and actually, I hope I can catch the light angle better for you. Maybe I can catch the sun. You can see the nectar glistening in there. I'll even try to bring it a little closer for you. It's very hard to film with a bee suit on, but hopefully you're getting a good look at that. They're drawing that out, and they're already filling that with nectar, where they've got it drawn deep enough to start filling. So yeah, this colony is thriving. I'll hold the frame next to this just so you can see how many bees are on it. We basically have this whole box is full of bees and comb being drawn and honey resources coming in and being put in and dehydrated. That's exactly what we want to see in a thriving, healthy, happy honeybee colony this time of year. It's the end of July, July 23rd. We should be packing honey away at this point. And sometimes if we get a drought, that'll be the end of the major flow for the honey season. Oh yeah, we got some capped comb on this side. What we got over here? Drawn comb. We have nectar in there. Oh yeah. Try and give you a good shot of this here. Hopefully you can see the nectar shining, and hopefully I can get this close enough. Yeah, and then on the other side of the same frame, we have capped. So that's beautiful. And we got drawn and capped. Not totally capped, but the next frame over has a lot of drawn out, quite a bit of capping. So as we go into the center where they usually build middle out, right? So as we're going toward the center, there will be more honey and capping. So that's our two right-hand frames. I'm gonna leave those over here for a minute. And we'll pull maybe this middle frame here, just so you can have a look at the difference between the edges and the middle. They don't even really seem to be bothered by me today, which is nice. A little less muggy, not quite as hot. They have lots and lots and lots of resources. Much less defensive when they have lots of resources. Just like we are. You only have one meal left to eat. Somebody comes to take it, you're going to be real upset. You got a whole freezer full of food, somebody takes a meal. It's not going to kill you literally, right? Oh man. There we go. Yeah, that's much heavier, much more full. What we got over here? Oh yeah, we got almost halfway capped over here. So that's awesome. Again, I'll turn sideways and try and catch that sunlight, and hopefully I can show you the difference between capped and the glistening nectar in the cells. Very hard to capture that, at least as one person without somebody filming and zooming for you. All right, so that's that side. That's got loaded with bees, a lot of capped, a lot of filling. This side is almost halfway capped, or I would say even pretty much halfway capped. And the other is basically full of nectar. They'll be capping this off soon. And I'll just show you quick if I can here. The frame next to that, also capped out. Pretty well capped out. So we'll stick this back in the way it came out. There we go. Oops, sorry ladies, didn't mean to bump you. All right, maybe we'll take a look at these two on the left too, because I don't think they're quite as filled out as the two on the right were. So we'll just well, I guess we'll restack over here. Got to keep that spacing so they don't do something weird in between it. Spacing on the edge is okay. It's not quite wide enough for them to build a comb in. But if you have it in between the frames, you can end up with some really screwy comb arrangements. And it is a royal pain in the butt to cut those out later on and fix a frame so you can actually access the box again. We already tried it, tip number 2. Okay, this is the second one from, yeah. See, we got some comb draw. We're loaded with bees. They're working it hard. And then this side, just a little bit of comb draw. Still quite a few bees. They'll probably fill this out in the next week or less, I would think, just given the speed and volume of flow of traffic coming in and out of the hives and how fast this has evolved since last time. And we'll just pull this guy quick too. Yep. Some bees on that side. Pretty well loaded with bees on this side. That's good. They're doing good work. You're doing good work, ladies. So we're going to give them another box and close them back up, let them run, we'll go over to the next hive. Let me grab another box here. All right, here we go. Honey box number 3, box number 4 total for the 2025 season on the most southern hive. That feels really good. And we'll give them their inner cover back. Oh, look out, ladies. And away we go. It'd be great if they filled that too. We could just keep stacking. All right, let's look at the next hive. Lay down a little cover fire. That glued on pretty good. That's a good sign. Just show you that quick. That orangish yellow colored stuff is propolis, and that's made from the sap of trees. A lot of pine sap actually in that, from my understanding. It's an excellent glue and sealant, and it is also a biocide. So fungi, mold, bacteria, that kind of stuff don't really like to grow on it. Natural biocide made by plants. Imagine that. Oh my. We are looking good in here. Just try and give you a glimpse before we disturb anything. Well, you can see we've got drawn comb all through. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom. On out to the last two don't appear to be drawn. And the edge of this one, the right edge of this one. But they're fine. So real quick, we'll pull the left, because that's a pretty well filled frame. That'll give us a gauge of how full they are between like here where they really have comb drawn and kind of filled out, and these last three where they don't. I'm probably going to hold off on putting another box on this hive just to get them to move over and draw comb and fill these other three. Sometimes if you put another empty box on before they've really widened out to the width of the frames, sometimes they'll just work up and kind of ignore a section on you. And we really wanted to fill everything out completely. So now we'll put a little smoke in. We'll pull this left-hand frame first. Well, you can see this, but this is a great example of the propolis glue. You can see it actually stretched as I pull the frame out. We got a little bit of drawn comb on this side. Bees working it. Pretty well drawn comb on this side. Bees working it. They got to be about ready to start putting nectar in there. If I don't see any right off. Oh no, they are. They're starting to put nectar in the middle, right in here. So that's good. That's that frame. And they're working drawing this out. So they're a little further behind the other colony. Definitely a little bit slower in productivity. That's okay. No judgment on them. They're doing great work regardless. And I just want to pull this next frame next to this just to have a better gauge of where we're at. Well, see, now that one's much heavier. That's got nectar in it. See if I can get you a shot of that again. They're filling that with nectar pretty well, pretty uniform. They pretty much got everything that's deep enough to hold nectar starting to fill. Oh, and this side, same thing. This frame is significantly heavier than that last one was, so that's good. That's what we like to see. And the frame next to it, I don't see any cap comb, but it seems to be drawn out pretty well, pretty completely. And actually, there is some capping already, so I would say from there over, we're kind of getting full. And then this frame looks pretty empty. Let's chop that. Yep. Bees on it and working it now, so that's good. That means they're actively getting on it. But they're just starting to draw comb on this. And the one next to it, same story. So those are both basically still empty foundations. So if those are empty, and our first one was just had a little bit on it, or did it? Yeah. And then we'll take a look at this frame too, because that's the divider one where it's empty on one side or emptier and fairly well filled out on the other. That way you can see this clear demarcation line between frames and how they really work in sectors. Yeah, see how many honeybees are on that one? It's a little lighter, but there's nectar going in. See nectar in there. Oh, look at this side. See how this side is empty like the other ones? Huge difference. That's that dividing point. They're working from this frame over. So I would say, if we count that as half a frame, and we count the left-hand one as half a frame, so we drop one, we got 7 frames pretty well filling up with bees, honey, and being drawn out. But that means we got 3 empty frames still, and I want them to fill those out before we work our way up. So we're not going to put a 4th box on this one. Not just yet, at least. It won't be long, we will be. But for now, they got the room they need. They got their job ahead of them. And that's still fantastic news. That's still easily, by end of July, another box of honey on them. That's fantastic. And these guys are thriving that you're sitting on top of. That first hive we opened, they're thriving. They might fill box number 3 and need another box. So maybe, well, I might have to get more boxes, or I might have to pull off the first honey box or the second box up and spin the honey out of that and then put it back. And then they'll have drawn comb they can just basically fill with honey and cap. That's really nice for late season, so they can work fast and they don't have all that comb drawing work to do. Because that's the whole project. You're building a whole wax barrel foundation is effectively what it is, right? It's, they're building little hexagonal wax barrels so they can store plant nectar in it and then dehydrate that plant nectar down enough to get the water out of it to get what becomes honey, and that's their food store. Pretty cool, pretty intelligent little creature, I would say, if you ask me. I know, you didn't. I'm telling you what I think anyway. I like that. Let's take a look at this 8-frame hive and see if they're making any progress. 8 frames to freedom, let's go. See what these guys are doing. It's strange. Some days I see pretty good activity on the front of this hive. Some days it just seems kind of sluggish. I don't know what the deal is. Oh, but look, our ant friends are back again, so maybe that's a factor. I don't know. Only seeing them on the outer cover. But that's not good. Just keep shaking those ant eggs off. Shaking those ants out. I'm gonna have to do something about that at some point. Well, right off the top, number 3 isn't doing much. Number 2 isn't doing much either. I don't know, I almost wonder if we lost a queen. So, not building anything in the second box. Some of these guys look like drones, which is kind of weird. It's a larger bee for sure. Seems a little messed up too. you can see this. Trying to sting me, but I don't think there's a stinger, and that would be like a drone. I don't know if they're coming in from other colonies. The bigger question is why. We should have a mated queen in here, and therefore she should be laying. The colony should be expanding, and they should be getting to a point where we're going after honey. And I don't see signs of that. I don't see colony expansion. We're into July. You saw how those other two colonies are. We got 3 boxes of bees on the first one, and 2 full boxes of bees, 2.5, 2 3/4 on the second colony. Bees and honey and activity and growth. And this hive... Or did you want some more? I see you coming after me. You better back down, sweetheart. Stand down, ladies. Stand down. I don't know, I'm half tempted to open up all of this. But man, it's such a job to cut that all apart. Like I almost... Like, I mean, at this point we're so far in, the queen must be laying eggs, because we have honeybees, regular worker honeybees that are alive. I mean, okay, so I'm not going to do this today, but I'm going to come back another day this week, and we're going to dive in and have a look and see if our queen got out of her queen cage, what's going on in all this mess. I should have cleaned this up in the spring. We just had a stint of bad weather, and I couldn't get the hives open during that time, and in that time they built and drew comb and kind of locked it up. So like there was one of these other hives that I couldn't get the queen cage out of, and I let ride for the season. But I was expecting the same results with this as with that, just because the colony was taken off. But now that we see this lack of vitality and life, we're going to investigate a little deeper as to why. Now, the other two colonies, there's no reason to dig down into that main nest and disturb that queen laying eggs and doing her job and making those colonies thrive. But in this case, we have a problem. And much like other things in farming, when you have a problem and it keeps showing up, you better go back and dig to the root of it. You literally need to get to the root cause of it and figure out what went wrong. Because the only way you'll solve that current problem and many problems in the future and be aware of that problem for the future. It's an excellent learning opportunity if you take it as such. So I'm going to stick the queen excluder back on. I'm going to drop the boxes back on just because it's an easy place to store them, basically. And we're going to come back. We're going to schedule an inspection in this hive and come back and look at things closer and figure out, or try to figure out, what's going on. But for now, I'm going to schlep it back together. Okay. 2 out of 3 is not bad. 3 out of 3 is better. But 2 out of 3 is not bad. Alright, that's it for today. We have 2 awesome rocking colonies. And now we got something to look forward to come back and figure out what's going on with this 8-frame box on another day when the light is a little bit longer so we can still get decent footage. Alright, that's it for this bee inspection. This is episode 11 for Honeybees 2025. Hope you found this interesting or informative. Thanks for watching the Pharmacy Seeds Network.